Hey YouTube. I have have a lot going on. If you've watched my videos, you already know um, that my girlfriend broke up with me a couple days ago, officially, and I need to find a new place to live by October, and I need to find a new income by October. And some of the time I've been kind of excited about the future, like, well, something's going to change. Maybe it could be good. Maybe I'll get a job I like. I'll have a studio apartment with my cat and it'll be okay. But it's all up in the air at this point. There's no guarantees. And so I am super scared underneath it all. And I had a hard time waking up for a very old reason. Like you know, if you've seen my videos, I wake up every day because of nausea. And I had that today, and then I managed to fall back asleep for a couple hours. And when I woke up, well, I kept waking up and then putting myself back into my dreams if I could because I was feeling so sad and anxious. And yeah, I didn't want to wake up because I was so, I guess, depressed. And that used to happen to me all the time. And now I take medication. I think it helps a little bit, but I also haven't been alone in a long time. I have my cat Doug here, so that's not exactly alone, but for the past several years, 4 years, and then two and a half years before that, I had a partner, and I got used to having someone to talk to about my problems and having a sympathetic person close by. And that's a gift. It's a gift that some people wait their whole lives for. Yeah, I don't have any guarantees that it'll happen again. And at this stage, it's okay because I'm mostly just afraid of the circumstances of our country, which is that I could end up homeless very easily. Um, Obviously, I really miss my ex-girlfriend, but it's a normal part of life to have relationships end, and I'm more prepared to deal with that process of moving on and grieving than I am to deal with potential homelessness. So, like, I probably won't end up homeless somehow, but I don't know how because I don't have enough money. I only have a few $100s. Well, right now I only have a couple $100s. And yeah, I really hope that the job that I find can start at like noon or something because I spend the first part of my day so uncomfortable that it takes me a while to recover. And I know everybody on this earth gets exhausted and burnt out from time to time, but when you're autistic and you just have to keep going, I mean, I don't know how else to explain it other than it just felt like my nerves were just shot. Like somebody was ripping open my rib cage and just shining bright lights and blasting megaphones into it. And all I want is to just retreat into a quiet room with no noise and very low lighting. If I was born like 10,000 years ago or something, I would be some kind of weirdo living on the outskirts in caves or whatever. Anyway, there was something I wanted to talk about. Oh yeah, my intuition, my heart, the feelings I have in my heart versus my ego. I mentioned over the past roughly 6.5 years I had been in a relationship, and both of those relationships, for the entire time, I felt like the people who knew my girlfriend, like her friends and family, I just assumed that they all hated me and they wished that I would leave. And yeah, sometimes I would hear feedback from my girlfriend's family, or I don't think I heard it from friends, but yeah, comments that made me feel bad about myself because I didn't make enough money and stuff like that. And I had this like angry feeling that was based on feeling insecure, that yeah, I was just mad at those people for not liking me, and I wished that I wasn't a victim of that situation, and I just wanted to latch on to my girlfriend as my safe person and have her shield me from the world a little bit. And that's not good. That's unfortunately largely why I'm in the situation I'm in now, with a relationship I really wish had continued, burning itself out because I was doing that. And the flip side of that statement, though, is that I'm looking forward to meeting people, finding spaces where I genuinely feel like I belong, and not just like, because it went on for so long. It actually was going on for the past like 10 years as I really started to burn out from working and stuff. A lot of my youthful charisma started to disappear and was replaced with burnout, exhaustion, and cynicism and despair. And I started to feel like I was evil, like I was angry all the time, and I felt like I was fake because everybody else seemed like they were energetic and happy and communicating well, and I just couldn't, or it took so much effort and I couldn't do it like they did. So I started to think like maybe I'm an evil, bad person. And it became like my very painful secret everywhere I went. Like, oh yeah, these people don't like me because they can tell that I'm evil, and that just sucks, and there's nothing I can do about it. So I doubt that everybody I met thought I was evil. I'm sure if anybody, maybe only like 1 or 2 people thought something so negatively about me. Most of them probably didn't care very much. And it's been really painful the past 10 years. My life was very challenging and messy, like probably everybody, but almost nothing went the way that I had planned. And that sucks. It's excruciating and it goes against my will, but I do feel grateful because I do think that I've gained some strength. Um, Even if it's just the strength to kind of be okay with being mortal and like dying someday. And just comparing that to feeling like my life has to go one way and I have to survive and I have to be okay. And now I know that you don't have that much control, and that I ought to just be grateful. I ought to be a lot more grateful for the things that I do have. That took me a while to figure out. I was like, I don't know. I don't know if entitled is the right word, because it's not like I was wealthy and had a bunch of privilege heaped on me. I am a white man, but maybe that's the whole reason why. I just felt like I should be able to succeed. I should be able to be comfortable. I should be able to have dignity. And I kind of lost that in the past few years. I just started to feel like a workhorse, a really, really miserable workhorse. And yeah, I mean, maybe everybody goes through that on some level, but it was just very demoralizing, disillusioning to actually become an adult and join the workforce, even though I always thought that I would hate it. I always thought it was the worst thing ever. I remember when I was 16, I wrote a crappy poem on my iPod Touch or whatever. And that little note app, I remember typing this poem about how we were just born to be worker bees and then die. And that was basically the whole thing. I was an atheist at that point, so it all felt even more sick and unfair. Now at least I suspect in vague ways that it's somehow a cosmic joke or some kind of a school that's helping us in some way, and that the other side is really, really awesome. Yeah, I hope that for all of us, people who are not rich or whatever, I hope that in the coming years our economy somehow improves and makes room for people that are not tech CEOs and hedge fund managers and, fiduciary such and such type people. Yeah. All the near-death experiences that I listen to, the vast majority, some people do have hellish experiences, but the vast majority of them sound really cool. And it really does sound like your wildest dreams. Like, I was listening to one recently where they were saying that, like, there's so many colors that we don't have that it doesn't even feel right to call them colors, because they are like their own beings, own entities that have like sound, and like synesthesia is like the nature of the afterlife supposedly. And everything's glowing, there's no shadows because everything's just glowing with light. And supposedly you're greeted by the thing that makes you feel welcome So if you're not a religious person, it might be like nature. And yeah, people usually say that they really don't want to go back when they find out that they're going to be sent back to their bodies. They're like, no, no, please, let me stay. But sometimes you do hear about people who are fine to go back because they learned that a life here is really just a split second on the other side. And because you are everything and you love everything, you love yourself, you want to come back to help. So near-death experience has been a boon for my mental health. Even though it is kind of weird to be fantasizing about death all the time as a coping skill. It's not like I'm fantasizing about hurting myself. I'm just fascinated by this experience that seems so blissful and heavenly, especially when compared to our mundane experience as human beings on Earth. Yeah. It's 9:45 and my previous job started at 9:15, so it was just too early for me. I would be sometimes still nauseous, and lots of times like in meltdown mode. And I just really feel like if I can find a job that lets me start at about noon, I will be able to get myself into shape for that. That's my hope. And it can't be all just theoretical because I only have 2 months before I need to have new income. Really less than 2 months. So yeah, this scary, panicky part of myself thinks that I'm not gonna find anything and it's gonna be horrible and whatnot, but oh, there's my cat. Hey, buddy.